Meghan Markle is trying desperately to win over someone, anyone, and she's been doing this for years. I really don't think baseball fans are the right place to aim for at this particular moment, but that is what she's doing.
To talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, the Duke and Duchess of Scamalot, who are about as royal at this point as Burger King. I actually have more respect for the Burger King.
Why are you doing this to yourself, Harry? You're mortified, you hate crowds, you're booed, which absolutely plays into all of the insecurities that you now feel about how much you've mucked this up.
Meghan Markle is trying desperately to win over someone, anyone, and this time she thought a baseball crowd would do the trick. But if you've ever seen a Hollywood script flop in real life, this was it.
Titles, and they've been gone almost 6 years from the royal family. But Tuesday night, these two left the kids at home.
Under the bright stadium lights, Meghan flashed her biggest smile, ready for that perfect all-American moment. She came for cheers, but what she got was a wall of boos that echoed across the entire internet.
Feel sorry for Harry being dragged there and then dealing with the fact that he's tried to ignore for a long time, that actually this couple are just as unpopular.
The clip went viral within minutes. You could practically see the panic behind the smile, the kind of frozen grin that says, this was supposed to go differently. Even the commentators couldn't resist calling it a royal train wreck in HD.
The kids at home, they go to the Dodgers game in Los Angeles. So Prince Harry and Meghan Markle, they have amazing seats at the Dodgers game. Okay, someone must really like them, or they have black.
Prince Harry sat beside her, looking mortified. He hates crowds, and every loud boo seemed to hit him like a reminder of how far things had fallen since the royal exit. The Duchess of Montecito thought she was filming a warm California girl moment, but it played out more like an episode of Keeping Up with the Sussexes. She wanted to look spontaneous, instead she looked staged. The internet saw through it instantly. This isn't authenticity, one viral post said, it's audition tape energy.
Or Meghan. Meghan had to do some tricks for those seats. But nonetheless, they have amazing seats at the Dodgers game, but they're a bad luck charm. Okay, they're kind of a bad luck charm for any business because the Dodgers lost to the Toronto.
So what went so wrong that a night at a baseball game turned into Meghan's biggest PR nightmare? Let's rewind and see how one so-called casual date night became proof that Hollywood glamour can't save a crumbling image. This wasn't a random date night. It was a setup, and the internet knew it the second the video dropped. Everything about Meghan's Dodgers appearance screamed orchestration.
Let's take one more look. Sometimes we've got to enjoy things.
The lighting hit her face like a perfume ad. The camera just happened to find her at the perfect angle. And those front row seats, right in front of baseball royalty Magic Johnson, Sandy Koufax, yet somehow the Duchess of Drama sat closer to home plate than either of them. Coincidence? Please.
Or Meghan. Meghan had to do some tricks for those seats. But nonetheless, they have amazing seats at the Dodgers game, but they're a bad luck charm. Okay, they're kind of a bad luck charm for any business because the Dodgers lost to the Toronto Blue Jays. And I would like to give myself kudos for remembering that and not looking at the notes. Okay, so the Dodgers lost. The Toronto Blue Jays won. I find this interesting that Prince Harry is rooting for the Dodgers.
It was supposed to be her triumphant comeback, proof that America still adored her. But the moment she stood, waved, and flashed that perfectly timed smile, something snapped. The crowd didn't buy it, and they let her know.
Actually the King of Canada, or the Sovereign of Canada, so you would think maybe he would root for Toronto, but he's rooting for the Dodgers because Prince Harry, he's decided to leave.
The boos were instant, sharp, and merciless. In seconds, the stadium went from ball game energy to public trial. Social media detectives went wild. Who tipped off the camera crew? One post asked. Why was she in the spotlight before a single pitch? Another wrote. Theories exploded. Was this another staged PR stunt? A desperate bid to rewrite her public image? Or was Meghan testing whether America would embrace her again? Either way, it blew up in her face.
Fuck with a tell-all book. But they go to this Dodgers game, they leave the kids at home. what I'm sort of getting concerned with, don't these kids want to go out and experience some of these things? You know, they have a young boy. I think the boy is maybe 6, 7, 8 years old at this point. Wouldn't Archie...
Her casual reactions looked scripted, her laugh too forced, her gestures too polished. The same playbook that once worked in talk shows and documentaries suddenly looked hollow under the harsh lights of a baseball game. Because here's the controversy. Fans didn't see a woman enjoying herself. They saw a brand trying to reboot. And in that moment, the illusion cracked. The royal rebel turned California influencer wasn't being relatable.
Want to go see a baseball game with his mom and dad? Archie's at home with the nannies or the help, whoever he's at home with, while mommy and daddy are out at the game?
But what real...
She was performing again. And the internet had zero mercy for repeat performances. And then it happened. The internet detonated. Within hours of that Dodgers clip surfacing, social media became a full-blown war zone. TikTok, Reddit, Twitter, YouTube.
I just think the kids might enjoy getting out, right? When are we going to see the kids outside of the compound? You know what I'm saying? It's like almost like the Branch Davidians or something. Like the kids never get off the compound.
Every platform lit up like a fireworks show of mockery. At first, it was just disbelief. People couldn't understand why Meghan was acting like she'd just won an Oscar instead of watching a baseball game. Her reaction didn't look like joy, it looked like strategy. And when viewers caught Harry's frozen expression beside her, the memes started writing themselves.
Or it's almost like Charles Manson had these young women and these young people living on his, reservation and following him. Is that what's going on with Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's kids? Why don't we ever see them?
Blink twice if you need help, one viral comment said. But this time it didn't stop at social media. Major talk shows picked it up within 24 hours. TV hosts laughed, dissected and replayed the footage in slow motion like it was evidence in a national scandal. She thought she was starring in a feel-good moment, one anchor joked, but ended up producing a masterclass in cringe. Then came Megyn Kelly. Her segment went viral instantly.
And I'm not saying I want people to pry. I don't think you should be photographing the kids. I don't think there should be paparazzi. You can blur their faces. But I just think, don't the kids want to get out at some point? Mommy's going to Balenciaga fashion shows, daddy's traveling here, they're going and collecting bogus BS awards in New York.
She called it a new low in self-promotion and roasted Meghan for turning everything, even a baseball game, into a personal brand moment. The audience gasped, but they weren't disagreeing. Piers Morgan joined in, labeling the clip so fake even Hollywood wouldn't cast it.
Don't the kids want to see mommy and daddy succeeding? And I use the word succeeding loosely, but don't the kids want to go and see their parents in action or go to a baseball game with their dad? I just really don't understand this whole situation where we never see the kids whatsoever. But Meghan Markle.
Late night hosts piled on, saying Harry looked like a man whose soul had left his body halfway through the inning. Across the board, one theme echoed. The performance was too polished to be real. Every outlet now, from gossip blogs to mainstream networks, ran the same headline in different words. Meghan Markle's Dodgers disaster.
Whatsoever. But Meghan Markle. She's dipping her toe in. She's dipping the toe in and she's using the kids a little bit more for her brand, to sell her product.
The hashtags exploded. Hashtag cringe queen. Hashtag Dodgers debacle. Hashtag Hollywood Harry. Even die-hard supporters admitted the clip was a PR move gone wrong. What was supposed to be a light-hearted viral moment had become a referendum on Meghan's entire public persona. The louder she tried to prove she was relatable, the more people saw through it. And as the world laughed, one thing became painfully clear. This wasn't just a bad look. It was the moment her brand officially lost control.
She is selling 2 candles that retail for $64. Okay, $64, let's say plus tax and shipping. You're spending almost $100 on a Meghan Markle candle. If you're doing that, you need help.
The internet couldn't stop replaying it, not Meghan's cheers, but Harry's face. While she laughed, waved, and performed like she was centre stage at the Oscars, Harry sat there, motionless. No clapping, no laughing, just that distant stare that screamed, "Get me out of here."
Now, Gwyneth Paltrow, she owns the fact that she's an out-of-touch, ridiculous celebrity. I mean, Gwyneth Paltrow, she sold a vagina candle that went viral years ago. It was like, this candle smells like my vagina. Now, I'm begging.
Every frame told a story. The tight jaw, the frozen grin, the blank eyes. Viewers said you could almost see the exact second he realised this wasn't a fun night. It was another PR circus, and he was the unwilling co-star. Body language experts quickly weighed in.
Meghan Markle not to do that. I think that scent could take out an entire population. It'd be like a mustard gas bomb if Meghan Markle did that. If Meghan Markle did a vagina candle, it'd be like a freaking mustard gas bomb wiping out the entire northern hemisphere.
One analyst said, Harry looks like a man emotionally checked out, physically present but mentally somewhere else. Another added, that wasn't discomfort, it was resignation. Social media agreed.
But nonetheless, let me read you about Meghan Markle's new candles from her holiday collection.
He looks like he's auditioning for hostage negotiations, one user joked. The contrast was brutal. Meghan was all energy, camera-ready perfection, while Harry looked trapped in a spotlight he didn't ask for. Fans pointed out that just months earlier he'd been spotted wearing Toronto Blue Jays gear, cheering on the opposite team. So why was he sitting there pretending to love the Dodgers now? Simple, and the brand needed it. Meghan's brand.
084. I guess she couldn't come up with any names. I mean, what the hell does that mean? Signature candle 519. She probably thinks it's like real artsy. Okay, so let me read you about this. So, signature candle number 84.
What was meant to show a loving, carefree couple instead revealed something far more uncomfortable.
And it is the scent that warms her family's California home.
A dynamic where Meghan leads the performance and Harry just follows the script. The man who once rebelled against royal control now seemed controlled in a different way. By optics, by narrative, by the endless pressure to play along. Clips of his expression flooded the internet. One comment went viral, forget Meghan's scream.
That smells like her house. Like, oh, it smells like my childhood home. And it's like, sweetie, didn't you like grow up above a garage where people were like grilling downstairs? I don't know. And next to a freeway and all the fumes.
Harry's silence said it all. For years, Meghan has tried to sell the story of a happy California reinvention, but that Dodgers clip shattered the illusion. Because behind her polished smile was a husband who looked completely broken by the show. And that's what hit people the hardest. Not the booze, not the camera, not even the fake laughter.
I don't know. And next to a freeway and all the fumes. I don't want that candle. Okay, I might have to order a candle to try it out for you guys. Now, this is what the description of the candle says.
But the quiet, painful truth sitting right next to her. By now, everyone had seen it. Meghan's Dodgers moment dissected frame by frame. But what no one missed was the bigger picture. The illusion she'd built over years was falling apart in real time. For so long.
Number 84 fills the air with fragrant, sweet wood. Ooh, sounds good to me. Delicate florals and California wildflowers for an elevated coziness that feels like a hug. Now, in my notes, I underline
Meghan has sold the story of reinvention. The graceful Duchess turned California sweetheart. The mum next door who left the crown to live free. But that image only works if people believe it. And when the Dodgers video hit, belief vanished. It wasn't authenticity anymore, it was acting. Everything about that night felt manufactured. The seats, the smiles, the setup.
84 fills the air with fragrant, sweet wood. Ooh, sounds good to me. Delicate florals and California wildflowers for an elevated coziness that feels like a hug. Now, in my notes, I underline
Meghan wasn't reacting, she was performing. The exaggerated expressions, the perfect lighting, the overdone energy, it all screamed content moment, not real life. Even her outfit seemed picked for headlines, not comfort. Critics tore it apart. She doesn't live moments, one columnist wrote. She produces them. And it's true. This wasn't Meghan Markle, the woman. It was Meghan Markle, the brand.
We're elevating water. We're elevating everyday moments of life. And it's like, you threw some flower petals on a cookie? Like, I would have rather had the cookie without the flower petals, bitch. So no, I'm sick of all this.
Every gesture was choreographed. Every emotion was staged. And yet the harder she tried to appear genuine, the faker it looked, and the timing made it worse. While the UK was mourning a national tragedy, Meghan was caught screaming at a baseball game. The optics?
Elevated water. It's like, no, it's like tap water. Okay, shut up. So, let me read you a little bit more.
Disastrous. To many, it looked tone deaf. Joy performed on cue while the rest of the world grieved. Even her own supporters started going quiet. The same media that once celebrated her every move now called her Hollywood's biggest PR meltdown. Headlines labelled her the cringe queen.
Fans of water lotus, sandalwood, and California poppy will gravitate towards this grounding aroma. Now, Signature Candle 519,
what was meant to rebrand her as relatable had officially branded her as out of touch. Because that's the truth about illusion. It always cracks under pressure. Meghan wanted to prove she could command America's love the way she once charmed the palace press. But what the Dodgers clip showed was that the act no longer works.
It's a modern and elegant fragrance described by the brand as love at first light. Not sight, love at first light. Now,
the public isn't buying it. She came to remind the world she's still relevant. Instead, she reminded everyone that everything about her feels rehearsed. When the booze faded and the lights dimmed, Meghan's real nightmare began. The next morning, her name was everywhere, and not for her style, not for her charity work, but for the most embarrassing video of her career. TV hosts, podcasts, and online commentators tore the footage apart like vultures circling fresh prey.
Okay, in the Western world who was single, wanted to date Prince Harry. Okay, I would have had love at first sight with Prince Harry if he swung my way. You know what I'm saying? Number one, I love ginger.
The tone wasn't sympathetic. It was savage. Megyn Kelly called it a desperate performance from a woman who can't stand not being seen. Piers Morgan went further, saying, she's addicted to cameras the way most people are addicted to oxygen.
Meant to be royal, but when God was sending me to Earth, like something got sort of mixed in the signals. I think I was meant to be royal. And honestly, if they're gonna strip Prince Andrew of his title, I volunteer to take it. I will be a martyr and take the Duke of York title and join the royal family, and y'all will never hear from me again.
Even late night comedians joined in, roasting Meghan's Hollywood act and Harry's hostage face. The internet didn't just laugh, it analysed. Frame by frame, users compared her smile to past red carpet poses, pointing out the same head tilt, same fake laugh, same PR sparkle. The hashtags hashtag Dodgers debacle and hashtag Meghan exposed trended for days.
And join the royal family, and y'all will never hear from me again. Y'all think when I join the royal family, I'm going to be sitting here on this podcast? Y'all think when I join the royal family, I'm going to be promoting chips? No, y'all won't ever hear from me again. But anyway, let me read you a little bit more.
Reaction videos hit millions of views. Every influencer and gossip blogger had a take, and none of them were kind. And yet the real blow wasn't the memes or the monologues, it was the silence from her allies. No friends defended her. No sympathetic media outlet tried to spin it. Even her usual Hollywood supporters stayed quiet, letting the narrative run wild.
People don't give a damn about Meghan's title, and so they just put her name up. Meghan Markle, not Meghan Sussex. And as the Office of CB pointed out, the Dutch arse.
Inside Montecito, insiders claimed Meghan was furious and blindsided by the backlash. She thought the clip would humanise her, remind people she's fun and free. Instead, it confirmed the opposite, that every public move she makes feels choreographed, controlled, and painfully desperate for attention.
Won't be happy about that, which is certainly true. Now, I think Tom Sykes made a really good point, actually, on the Royalist blog.
Meanwhile, the royal family in London reportedly didn't say a word, and they didn't have to. Their silence was louder than any statement. While Meghan trended for the wrong reasons, the palace stood still, composed, dignified.
With his analysis of this, writing, sitting in the front row, Harry looked, frankly, like he'd rather be anywhere else.
Exactly the contrast her critics needed to prove their point. In one night, Meghan managed to do what her harshest enemies never could, expose her own strategy. The woman who once captivated the world's sympathy was now its favourite punchline. What came next wasn't just backlash, it was collapse.
That visibly make him miserable. And Pete Diner, that's royal YouTube sensation, by the way, who was with us. That's such a good point, isn't it? Like, why are you doing this to yourself, Harry?
The Dodgers video didn't fade like other Meghan controversies. It kept growing, mutating and turning uglier by the hour. Her PR team scrambled, deleting posts, pushing soft stories about family life and new projects. But it was too late. The narrative had already burned through every major outlet. And then came the knockout.
Absolutely plays into all of the insecurities that you now feel about how much you've mucked this up. Why do you allow her to put yourself in this position when we can all tell, just like in New York the other day?
Just days later, Meghan tried to move on with her American Riviera Orchard brand launch, a cozy, candle-filled lifestyle video meant to show calm after the storm. Instead, it reignited the fire. The internet saw it for what it was: damage control. Her timing couldn't have been worse.
Thinks he's on camera, but his absolute despondency shines through.
The same week she was being booed for faking joy at a baseball game, she released a video about boiling tea water and finding peace. Commenters called it the most out-of-touch marketing stunt of the year. Sales flopped, engagement tanked, even loyal fans mocked the tone-deaf timing. Meanwhile, insiders whispered about tension behind Montecito's gates, Harry reportedly miserable and ready to step away from the spotlight.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see it. And I don't understand either why he keeps putting himself in this situation. I think he just doesn't have the courage to really tell Meghan how he feels.
While Meghan refused to back down, insisting this was her rebrand moment. The irony? Her attempt to reclaim her image only proved every critic right. What started as a small PR blunder at a ball game.
In a position that he doesn't feel like he has any power. He feels as if his life is out of control, and he's also trying to prove all the trolls are wrong.
Had snowballed into an identity crisis. Meghan wanted to control the story, but the story had taken control of her. The press called it Hollywood karma. The fans called it the unmasking. But the truth was simple. Meghan Markle's carefully built image, the confident duchess, the independent woman, the global brand, had cracked under its own weight. And for the first time, the world wasn't looking at her crown, her brand, or her smile. They were looking through it. Her fairy tale didn't end with a scandal. It ended with a reaction. One that reminded everyone watching that authenticity isn't something you can script.